Welcome to ceramics class. All right, I gotta drop something. Welcome to ceramics class. All right, so what we're going to do today, oh, I just made it dirty. Welcome to ceramics class. What we're going to do today is to make what are we making? A tray. What we're going to do today is we're going to make a tray, okay? And there's many different ways to make a tray, but I'm going to try to make a tray that each of you can make at home. You don't need any special things besides for what you already have, okay? So I'm going to draw a shape, and I already started to, is what I'm going to cut my clay out to be like. And then this is a drawing. I just did a half circle. And then I go with my scissors and I'm gonna go and cut that out. If you make a stencil for your clay, your projects will go a lot faster, you'll notice. And your cuts will be more accurate instead of having to measure every single time you go to do something. So this is gonna be one half of the tray, and then on the other side I'm just gonna flip this over to get the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna make a kind of a longer tray. Okay. All right. Now, if you have wood at home or you have something that you can set on top of so it can slump over, that would be very helpful. So I'm gonna go get mine.
Mr. B.
Yeah.
What if we have like that plastic, like the tray, but it's plastic?
And you like it?
What do you mean? Not like it's like, you know how when you go to like games or something and they give you a hot dog and they put it on that type of like plate?
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
It's like a tray, but it's plastic?
Or, well, usually it's like paper, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what about it?
Can we use that?
You want to make one that looks like that?
Yeah, because it looks like that, doesn't it? It looks like the thing that you're holding.
Oh,
but
you're talking about the paper?
No, like the thing to set on top of it.
Oh, well, that's not going to be strong enough to hold the weight of your clay usually. So that's why I'm using a block.
Oh, okay, for sure.
So this block, I usually do use this to make a tray. This is a template, but imagine that there's no cuts to it, and it's just a block. This could still be used to make a tray, okay? So we're still going to use this one, okay? I gotta make that, alright. Yeah. I gotta make the slab, one thing. Alright, so I made it a little bit bigger than I needed, but that's okay. We'll work with it.
Mr. B,
Yes, sir.
can I go use the restroom?
Yes. All right. So because we are going live, if you have to use the bathroom, just go, and then you can come back later on and catch up on the videos. So roll out your clay. You can see that there are some you can see that there are some imperfections in this clay. You can see that there are some imperfections in this clay from being rolled out. So what you're not going to use, just peel it and put it over the areas that you are going to use, most likely. And then roll that into it. And that's how you will get a bigger slab. Okay. Sometimes I'll just add on the side just like that. Add it like that. And then come over and roll it. Okay, that's how we would roll it. After we have it rolled out, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going to use the slab roller to go a little bit faster. Unless you guys enjoy watching me roll it, but I don't think you guys do, so I'm gonna use the slab roller. It'll be like magic. When you watch the other video, you're gonna see me start this and then I'll finish it like this. And you'll never know. Remember, if you get air bubbles, just go in there and kind of cut them open a little bit and then smooth over.
Mr. B,
Yep.
so like as you roll out your clay, does it have to be like really thin? Like you have to roll it out well?
That's the purpose for these 2 sticks is so that it's only that thick. If I don't have the 2 sticks, it's gonna be way too thick or way too thin in certain areas. So,
Yeah, because I don't have those like type of sticks.
yeah, so that's why in my other videos, when I was talking about putting something down, putting a pencil, putting something thin like that, that would work. But if you don't have any of that at home, then you might need to get some dowels or some sticks. Now dowels would just be long round dowels that you can put down.
Okay, thank you.
So this is a dowel. This is like what you would find at a you could go to like a hobby store, or you can go anywhere and find these, and these are what you would use to put down here to get that thickness. So if this is 1/2 inch, it'd be 1/2 inch thick. Now these sticks are kind of nice because they don't roll out on me, and these are only 1/4 inch thick, and I lay them down like this. I lay them down like this, and then I roll. This sets on top of it, so it can't go any deeper than that 1/4 of an inch. Okay? So some of you have noticed that your slabs are not as even as you'd like them to be, and it's most likely because you're not necessarily used to rolling it. Now you could just come in and roll and try to put your hands down, your fingers down like that to kind of just get a feel for it, but it's not as accurate as having some sticks. And what's really accurate is a slab roller, but you guys don't have slab rollers at home. If you do, I want to come visit you so that I can see what kind of setup you got. Oh yes, so the sticks that you get at like Home Depot for stirring paint, those are a little bit thinner than this, but they're pretty close to 1/4 inch thick. Those work good too, and they're nice, long, and flat. You get the ones for the 5-gallon buckets. Those ones work even better because they are. You get the paint sticks from the 5-gallon buckets. Those ones work really well because they're bigger, they're wider, they're a little bit thicker than the small, thin ones. Okay. So I have my shape, my basic shape. Okay, and then now I'm going to cut out my shape for how big I want my tray to be. Okay, so put it on here, get my knife, so I put it on here about where I want it, get my knife, I'm gonna start right here for this round shape, just come around, trace it. Make sure your knife is straight up and down. It's not to the side. If it's to the side, it's going to cut weird. If it's that way, it's going to cut weird too. So try to make sure it's nice up and down. I'm only going to cut to the tops of the circles so that I can have a nice straight line to them. Come over here, do the same thing. Oops, messed up a little bit. Okay. So I have those there. I can use my ruler or I can use a nice straight edge, something to come in here and join those two together. Okay. Okay, once I'm done, that excess clay, peel it out. And this might not be wide enough now that I think about it, but let's see. If it is, it's just going to be one long tray. All right, do your smoothing out that you need to do. I'm going to get some plywood that I had. Some plywood that I just had laying around. That's perfect size. That'll work. Okay. I like this side better probably. Check to see the sides that you like the corners the best. Alright. So I'm going to set that there. And then I'm just going to drape this over. But before I drape it over, what I'm going to do is going to make my texture. Use my stamp. Okay? So the stamp that I wanted to use, this is the time to use that stamp. Okay? All right, I have these little rollers that have lines on them. I'm going to use these guys as my stamps, which would be the same thing, oh, they glued on, as using something like this and just rolling it across. Okay, but I'm going to use these rollers. And if this is the size of it, I'm just gonna make a mark. Okay. If you guys got to go to class, you can just go off to class, and I'm just gonna keep going with the video. 150. I made a mark earlier, but I made it a little too deep, so I'm just moving that out right now. I'm going to use my stamp on 2/3 of the project and not on the other third. Hey guys, we start in like 2 minutes, huh? Mary, it's behind you in the show. Does Marco have Mrs. Lenhart? Does Marco have Mrs. Lenhart? No, not now, but like. History and Bible.
Mr. Boomerang.
How's it going?
Good.
All right, so we have 6 people in class. So we're gonna put the 2 girls together, Leilani and Anna. Anna, Leilani will be your partner, okay? And Mario will be partners with. Mario, pick a number 3, 4, 6.
4.
Okay, so you're gonna be partners with Jack, okay? And
Okay.
then Ray and Kai, you'll be partners.
Wait, what?
Ray and Kai will be partners.
Oh, for the.
Turn your cameras on, guys. We're just missing one person. Who are we missing? We got Mario, we got Ray, we got Anna, we got Kai. Oh, we're missing Jack. Okay. All right, so that would be 3. 3 big. Okay. Assign. Breakout room 1 will be. Well, Anna, Leilani's not here today, so you're gonna kind of be by yourself today, okay? We have Kai, Mario, Kai and who? Mario, right? Oh no, Kai and Ray.
And Rachel.
Jack.
Okay. And then assign Mario and Jack. And then I'm not gonna assign you a room. I'll just let you stay here and you can watch me while I record. Okay.
I finished the artwork. See,
Oh, good. But the
and the art statement as well.
but the inside
It's one paragraph, right?
you're gonna paint on the inside. Anna,
Sorry, my brother was screaming.
are you going to paint in class? I mean, not in class. Are you going to paint the inside of the door? It's
Yeah, I
the
think I
white
might
kind of
paint
washes it out.
inside of the door.
Okay, so you see where the white is? Even if you put another real soft color, Anna, that'll help to keep it so it doesn't just wash out with white.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to form and shape and form is the next chapter. You guys are going to be partnering up with the people that I put into your rooms together, and you guys are going to do a presentation next week, Wednesday, on shape and form. Okay? And you guys are going to figure out how you're going to do it and what type of presentation you're going to do, and you're going to teach us about shape and form. Okay? Also, your artist statements. Right now, I need you to take your artist statements with your partner, and your partner is going to read your artist statement, and then you are going to, and I'm going to put you in a room with these guys. And then what you guys are going to do is each of you are going to read each other's artist statement and give each other feedback on it and help each other fix it so it can be a really good artist statement, okay? So we're going to do that right now. And then I'm going to bring you guys back in a little bit together so that we can talk about each other's artist statements, okay? Ready? Go. Gives me a little bit of time to video without noise. Oh, I've been videoing this whole time. Okay, so here I have my shape. So here I have my stamp that I ran inside, and then I have my shape that I cut from my tray, and now I just need to prop the tray up so that I can droop it over the shape that I want to use. And that's how you can make one tray, okay? This is not the only way to make a tray. There's other ways to make it, but this is one method that we will use, okay? Or that you can use. The stamp that you made, you could do a bunch of stamps if you wanted to. So if this was a stamp that I made and I want to use that, I just roll that over. It's not a really perfect stamp, so it comes out kind of funky if you don't help it out. Some areas don't come out as nice as you want them to come out. You might have to go back and fix them so that they look how you want them to look. All right. So now that I have my shapes that I want, I'm going to take my board, and then I'm just going to take that board and put it as best as I can in the middle so that it can be even. The best way to be able to figure that out is measuring 9.5 minus, let's say 3.5 would be what, 6 and or 5.5. So 2 3/4. 2 3/4. 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Once you have it in the middle as best as you can, make sure on the sides this way it's also in the middle as much as you can. If you don't have anything to measure, you can use your hands to measure. So that's about centered, you could say. Okay. I think I'm going to texture over here also with this one. You have a question? You have a question? Yeah. For what are you putting on the inside? The lid? On the bottom side of the lid? The top. You probably use this white. The snowflake. Because then it'll be more. Yeah, in the 5 grams.
I could glaze insect, right?
Huh?
In your artwork.
You can glaze, yeah, you can glaze, yeah. All right, so here all I'm doing is putting this other board on top so I have more lift to it so I can bend a little bit more. Okay, so I have here 2 boards on top of, I have 2 boards on top of the clay, and then I have this whole canvas holding the project. Okay, so I'm going to just support the I'm going to support the bottom and then flip it over so that I can get the shape that I want. And then I'm going to put a board underneath to lift it a little bit more. I'm going to put this other board just to get a little bit more lift, the bottom. I'm going to put this other board just to get a little bit more lift on the bottom. Peel this off. Fold it. Okay, so I have, and then I'm just going to run with my fingers around the corners so I don't have any sharp corners. I'm just gently pushing down. If there's something you don't like, you can smooth it out. I think I want to fold these corners in. Okay. I could leave it like this. The only issue is when leaving it like this, it's gonna shrink a little bit as it dries, and the board underneath is not going to shrink. So when the board does not shrink underneath and this does shrink, it creates cracks. So I'm gonna attempt to flip it over and then put some boards on either side to hold up the shape, so I can have that nice what do you call it, the nice form for the tray. So the trick is to flip it without messing it up. So I'm just gonna lift one edge a little bit so I can get underneath. I can hold it like that. I'm going to put my two boards down. I'm putting them at a slight angle, like offset, so that it can support if it needs to. Whee! That's not what I had planned to do. Sometimes that happens. Oops. Well, since I did that, I'll just come over here and any mistakes, go in there and smooth them out before you make the edges too tight to go in. Let me actually do a little bit lower. That worked out okay. So whatever I use on one side, I want to use on the other side also. So let's say I was using these guys. Try to use the same. You don't have to make your tray this large. Once you start making a tray, this huge, it ends up becoming more fragile than you think, because when I go to pick it up later on, I have to be super careful to pick it up off of here. I can't just, grab the whole thing with my two hands very easily. I have to make sure that I'm not doing anything that's going to potentially, like if I lift one side, it could break. So bigger is not always better. I'm just bringing this tool in here from the board marked it earlier, so I'm just trying to smooth that out so it doesn't turn into a crack or an ugly spot. But maybe can't do anything about it. So that's the nice thing about trays. You can make it any shape you want to. You don't have to, stick to some tight rules about how they're going to be. Now, if you're making matching ones, then you're going to want to be able to reproduce that same one or shape many times. Okay, that's one way to make, that's one way to make Okay, that's one way to make a tray. There's many other ways that you can make them. And you can just follow shapes or forms, whatever you choose to do. If I want to lift this one up a little bit, I can put a coil at the bottom and add to it as well.